Every day people are drawn to trading, chasing dreams of quick wealth and freedom. They obsess over charts and strategies, convinced the right system will unlock endless profits. But the real enemy isn't the market. It's their own mind, full of biases and emotions. Euphoria from a win quickly turns to panic after a loss, and the cycle repeats. Instead of looking inward, traders blame strategies or bad luck, piling on more complexity. They don't see that the market is just a mirror, reflecting their internal chaos. The true battle isn't on the screen, it's within. Over 90% of retail traders lose money and quit. It's not for lack of knowledge. Many are highly educated and skilled. The real problem is self-control, not strategy. Markets are uncertain, but our brains crave certainty, leading to fear and greed. These emotions sabotage even the best plans. The top traders succeed not by outsmarting the market, but by mastering themselves. Trading success is about self-mastery, not technical analysis. The biggest obstacle in trading isn't the market, it's your own mind. Our brains are wired with biases like fear of missing out and loss aversion, which hurt us in trading. Emotional impulses override rational plans, leading to poor decisions. The real journey is internal understanding and managing your emotions. Success comes from distinguishing between disciplined strategy and impulsive action. The goal isn't to conquer the market, but to conquer yourself. Master your mind and you change your trading game. New traders dive into analysis, convinced they can predict the market. This creates an illusion of control, making them feel safe in chaos. They mistake luck for skill, growing overconfident and taking bigger risks. But the market is unpredictable, and no analysis guarantees success. When reality shatters their illusion, panic and fear take over. The real danger isn't analysis. It's believing you can control the uncontrollable. True skill is accepting uncertainty, not denying it. Many traders chase the perfect system, endlessly tweaking strategies to avoid losses. This over-optimization creates fragile systems that only work on past data. When faced with real markets, these systems fail. Losses are part of the game. Perfection is a fantasy. Professionals focus on robust systems with positive expectancy, not flawless records. Accepting imperfection is key to long-term success. The hard lesson chasing perfection leads to failure. Embrace uncertainty instead. One destructive manifestation of the illusion of control is revenge trading. It begins with a loss that feels personal. The market's refusal feels like a direct insult. The rational mind is shoved aside, and a primal urge takes over. The trader stops trading their plan and starts trading their emotions to punish the market. They abandon all their rules and increase position sizes recklessly. It is a desperate, emotional brawl. In reality, they have completely lost it. The outcome is almost always catastrophic, as the trader ignores risk management. They are left looking at a severely damaged, sometimes completely wiped out trading account. Chasing the market is a devastating behavior rooted in the illusion of control. They watch as the market takes off without them, moving exactly as they had predicted. This act of chasing is a fool's errand. By entering late, the trader fundamentally destroys the risk-reward profile. They are gambling on hope, driven by the fear of missing out. The reality is that the low-risk entry opportunity is gone. A disciplined trader accepts this and waits patiently for the next opportunity. The result is a swift and frustrating loss. The illusion of control leads them directly into a trap set by their own impatience and regret. To understand why traders lose control, we must look at the brain's chemistry. Beneath conscious analysis, your brain engages in a chemical dance. Dopamine, the molecule of motivation, anticipation, and reward, drives you to seek experiences. The anticipation of profit triggers dopamine release, creating excitement and focus. This mechanism becomes dangerous in the markets, laying the groundwork for a difficult-to-break loop. Trading structure can hijack the dopamine system, leading to addiction to the process itself, not just profits. This is the first step into the dopamine trap, where rational decisions fade. Every win delivers a powerful chemical cocktail to the brain. The green number flashes. A surge of dopamine confirms your prediction, accompanied by a rush of adrenaline, creating a feeling of excitement and power. It validates your intelligence. In that moment, you feel brilliant, invincible, like you have outsmarted the entire market. This feeling is incredibly seductive. It's a feeling that your brain immediately logs as something to be sought out again and again at any cost. The problem is that it distorts your perception of risk and reality. This is when you are most vulnerable to breaking your discipline. This process creates a dangerous feedback loop. The trader's brain learns a dangerous lesson. Breaking the rules leads to massive rewards. This is how a disciplined strategist slowly morphs into a reckless gambler. The financial gain becomes secondary to the need to re-experience the high. This is the very definition of an addiction. They are no longer in control of their trading. They are simply an addict seeking their next dose. The high of the win feels like success, but it is often the very thing that plants the seeds of their ultimate downfall. The dopamine system is a double-edged sword. While it rewards you intensely for a win, it creates a powerful and painful void when you lose. A losing trade creates a state of chemical withdrawal. This creates an immediate and intense craving to win the money back right now. This is the neurological basis for revenge trading. This desperate need to erase a loss is not a rational financial decision. It's a primal chemical compulsion. You are chasing the dopamine that the next winning trade will provide. This is why chasing losses is so destructive. The trader abandons all risk management, essentially going all in to satisfy a chemical craving. The cycle becomes a vicious downward spiral. The trader is now trapped in a destructive loop, fighting their own brain chemistry. Escaping the dopamine trap is critical in the journey from gambler to professional trader. The first step is awareness. Recognize the chemical loop and your susceptibility to it. Detach from feelings. Observe without being controlled. Introduce friction with hard rules to prevent acting on impulse. Implement a cool-off period after wins or losses. Set a daily loss limit. Shift focus from outcomes to process. Derive satisfaction from flawlessly executing your plan. Rewire your brain's reward system. Understand trading is a long-term business, not a get-rich-quick scheme. By understanding the dopamine trap, you can trade with a calm, disciplined mindset. For many, trading becomes a core part of their identity. They proudly state, "I am a trader." This feels powerful at first, but it's a psychological trap. Your self-worth becomes chained to the market's unpredictable movements. Your ego is now linked to trading performance, creating a fragile foundation for self-esteem. A losing trade feels like a personal failure, a crack in your identity. This is the core of the identity crisis many traders face. This emotional roller coaster is exhausting and unsustainable, preventing the calm mindset needed for long-term success. The problem is forgetting they are a whole person who happens to trade. Imagine your profit and loss statement reflecting your self-worth. Red numbers bring shame, anxiety, and worthlessness. This fusion of ego and account balance creates emotional swings. It's a trap, especially for traders internalizing financial world values. Losses become personal failings. Objectivity vanishes when self-worth is on the line. Protecting a fragile ego leads to catastrophic losses. Fear of inadequacy paralyzes, dictating irrational decisions. When the ego drives, objectivity goes out the window. The trader's goal shifts from sound decisions to needing to be right, validating their identity. Being wrong threatens this identity, leading to internal conflict and self-sabotage. Traders ignore stop losses, scour news, and flip through charts, desperately seeking justification. Defending the ego prevents learning. Mistakes are blamed on external factors, protecting the ego from painful truths and hindering growth. Objectivity dies. The ego-driven trader ignores contradictory evidence, defending their ego, not their account. It's a battle the ego always loses. Untangle your ego from trading. Realize you are not your trades. Profit and loss is a metric, not a measure of your worth. Trading is something you do, not who you are. Cultivate a life outside of trading. Engage in activities that give you purpose. This makes you more resilient. Reframe your language. Focus on objective outcomes. Separate identity from outcomes for a calm, clear mind. In trading, two emotions can sabotage even the most disciplined mind: fear of missing out, or FOMO, and regret. FOMO strikes when a trader sees a market moving without them. This isn't a logical signal, it's a gut-level panic. This fear is rooted in our evolutionary past, where missing resources meant survival. In trading, this ancient wiring misfires. Acting on FOMO is often disastrous. The result is a painful loss and foolishness, fueling regret. This makes them more anxious about missing the next move, increasing FOMO susceptibility. These forces trap traders in a reactive, emotional state. While FOMO pushes a trader into reckless action, regret can have the opposite, but equally destructive effect. it can lead to complete paralysis. Regret is the heavy emotional weight of past mistakes. It's the ghost of a previous loss that haunts every future decision. A trader who has just suffered a significant blow from a bad trade carries that pain with them. The memory is vivid, and the feeling of shame and loss is still fresh. So when the next valid trading opportunity appears, one that fits their strategy perfectly, they hesitate. The analytical part of their brain says, "This is a good setup," but the emotional part, scarred by regret, screams, "What if it happens again? What if you lose again?" This internal conflict between logic and emotion often results in inaction. The trader sees the setup, knows they should take it, but the fear of re-experiencing the pain is so overpowering that they freeze. They're unable to pull the trigger and place the trade. Instead, they sit on their hands, watching as the market moves exactly as their plan predicted, leaving without them. This inaction, born from regret, then creates a new, different kind of pain. Now they've suffered an opportunity loss. They avoided the risk of losing money, but they also missed out on a certain profit, which can feel just as agonizing and further deepens their frustration and inadequacy. This paralysis of regret creates a crippling feedback loop. By hesitating and missing a winning trade, the trader reinforces a new negative belief. "I'm always too scared to act when I should." This just adds another layer of self-criticism and regret to their psychological burden. On the next trade, they're carrying both the memory of their last financial loss and the fresh memory of their recent hesitation. This makes it even harder to act decisively. Their confidence erodes with each missed opportunity, and they become trapped in a state of analysis paralysis, constantly second-guessing themselves and waiting for a perfect, risk-free setup that will never come. Ultimately, this state of paralysis ensures failure just as surely as reckless FOMO chasing does. You see, a trading strategy's edge can only manifest if it is executed consistently over a large sample of trades. If the trader only takes some trades but skips others out of fear, they're tampering with the statistical probabilities of their system. They might skip 5 winning trades due to fear, and then, out of sheer frustration, finally jump into the 6th trade, which just happens to be a statistical loser. This selective execution, dictated by the ghost of past regrets, guarantees that their results will never match the positive expectancy of their plan. Regret forces them to trade their past, not the present opportunity. Escaping FOMO and regret requires recognizing them as illusions. A professional focuses on the present moment and their trading plan. The market will always be there. Opportunities are like buses. Another will come along. A strict written trading plan is your greatest defense. Think in probabilities and accept losses as part of the business. Dissolve FOMO and regret by becoming process-oriented. Don't trade your feelings, run your business. A pervasive myth within the trading community is the idea of mastery. Traders believe they can master the market through intellect and analysis. New traders become obsessed with predicting price movements with accuracy. This pursuit feeds the ego and the illusion of control. The market is not a static puzzle to be solved, but a reflection of human psychology. To believe you can master it is arrogance. Traders should master themselves, not the market. The quest for market mastery is a dead end. The real journey is self-mastery. The path to mastery was laid down by philosophers thousands of years ago. The ancient Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus sought tranquility in chaos. Their solution? Focus on what you can control, your thoughts and actions. This wisdom is key to trading success. Build an inner citadel of discipline and emotional resilience. Accept market volatility. Focus on the quality of your decisions, not the outcome. True mastery is mental and emotional equanimity, regardless of the market. Master your impulses and control your reactions. Choose your response. Every trade is a chance to practice virtue. The inner citadel becomes your edge. The myth of mastery breeds arrogance. The trader who believes they can outsmart the market develops a sense of superiority. They see themselves as an expert, a guru, someone who has it all figured out. This arrogance is a poison that blinds them to risk and prevents them from learning. They stop listening to the market's feedback because they are too busy imposing their own narrative onto it. They hold on to losing trades for far too long, unable to admit they made a mistake. They take on excessive risk, convinced that their mastery will protect them. Arrogance tells the trader that they are bigger than the market, a belief that the market takes great pleasure in correcting, often in the most brutal and financially painful way possible. The antidote to this poison is humility. True, sustainable success in trading is built on a foundation of profound intellectual humility. A humble trader understands and accepts their own limitations. They know that they cannot predict the future with certainty. They recognize that they are a small participant in a vast and complex system, and that their success depends not on being right, but on being disciplined and managing risk effectively. This humility is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate source of strength. It keeps the ego in check and allows the trader to remain objective, adaptable, and open to learning from their mistakes. Humility changes a trader's entire approach to the market. The arrogant trader asks, "How can I prove I'm right?" The humble trader asks, "Where could I be wrong? What is my risk on this trade?" The arrogant trader looks for confirmation of their biases. The humble trader actively seeks out disconfirming evidence to test their thesis. The arrogant trader blames external factors for their losses. The humble trader takes full responsibility, knowing that every loss contains a valuable lesson if they are willing to see it. This mindset shift is the difference between a short, explosive career and a long, sustainable one. This humble approach is the real edge that the top 10% of traders possess. It is not a secret indicator or a complex algorithm. It is the simple, yet incredibly difficult practice of setting the ego aside. It is the understanding that your opinion does not matter. The only thing that matters is what the market is actually doing. It is the willingness to be a student of the market for life, never assuming you have graduated. Arrogance leads to a rigid mind that breaks under pressure. Humility leads to a flexible mind that can bend and adapt to the ever-changing flow of the market, ensuring survival and eventually prosperity. The final fallacy of the mastery myth is that it presents an endpoint, a final destination where the learning stops. The trader who achieves mastery can supposedly rest on their laurels, having conquered the final boss. This is a dangerous fantasy. The markets are not a static game that once solved stays solved forever. They are constantly evolving. New technologies, new regulations, new geopolitical events, and shifts in collective psychology ensure that the strategies that worked perfectly last year may become obsolete next year. The market landscape is in a state of permanent flux. To believe in a final state of mastery is to set yourself up for failure. The successful trader, therefore, abandons the idea of being a master and instead embraces the identity of a lifelong apprentice. They understand that their education is never complete. They approach each trading day with a beginner's mind, open, curious, and ready to learn. They are not defined by their past successes. They know that they are only as good as their discipline and preparation on the current day. This mindset keeps them sharp, adaptable, and prevents the deadly disease of complacency from setting in. They know that the moment they think they know it all is the moment their downfall begins. This commitment to continuous self-improvement is focused primarily on the self, not just on market strategy. The lifelong apprentice is constantly engaged in self-reflection. They meticulously journal their trades, not just the technical details, but their emotional state during each decision. They ask themselves critical questions. Where did my ego show up today? Did I act out of fear or greed? How can I strengthen my discipline tomorrow? They see their psychological and emotional development as a project with no end date. They are always working on becoming a better version of themselves, knowing that a better trader is simply a more disciplined and self-aware person. Ultimately, this is the most profound shift a trader can make. It is the move from seeking a finite goal, mastery, to embracing an infinite process, growth. It is about finding joy not in the destination, but in the journey itself. The journey of refining your strategy, strengthening your discipline, understanding your own mind, and adapting to the endless challenges the market provides. The myth of mastery promises a false summit. The path of the lifelong apprentice offers something far more valuable, a sustainable, fulfilling, and ultimately more profitable way to engage with the markets for a lifetime. The greatest traders are not masters. They are and will always be humble students of the market and of themselves. Beyond strategy, computers, or information, the key to successful trading is emotional resilience. This is the ability to remain calm and disciplined amidst market chaos. Resilient traders manage wins and losses without overreacting. Emotional resilience is a psychological shock absorber. maintaining discipline through drawdowns. Staying centered is the true holy grail, the foundation for a successful trading career. The real secret is handling the psychological pressure of both winning and losing. Build this skill within yourself. In trading, mastering how to lose is key to long-term profitability. Professional traders know losses are unavoidable. Losing well means managing them effectively, financially, and emotionally. Treat losses as business expenses. This changes your relationship with the market. Freedom from the fear of losing allows decisive action. It enables consistent strategy execution. Learning to lose well is about emotional survival. Preserve mental energy, stay calm, and be ready for tomorrow. Resilience is key to lasting success. Emotional resilience is not an innate trait that you are either born with or not. It's a skill, and like any other skill, it can be developed and strengthened through consistent practice and deliberate effort. It's a mental muscle that grows stronger every time you exercise it. Building this muscle doesn't happen overnight. It requires daily drills and a conscious commitment to improving your mental fortitude. The goal is to create routines and habits that anchor you in a state of discipline and objectivity, making it easier to weather the emotional storms of the market. These practices are the daily workout for the professional trader's mind. One of the most powerful drills is the practice of mindfulness and meditation. Taking just 10 to 15 minutes each day, ideally before the market opens, to sit in silence and focus on your breath can have a profound impact. This practice trains your ability to observe your thoughts and emotions without getting entangled in them. You learn to see a thought of fear or greed arise in your mind and simply let it pass, like a cloud in the sky, without acting on it. This skill of detached observation is directly transferable to your trading. When you feel a surge of panic during a trade, your mindfulness practice allows you to notice the feeling without becoming a slave to it, giving you the space to stick to your logical plan. Another critical drill is rigorous journaling, but not just of your trades. After the market closes, you must perform a mental and emotional debrief. Write down not only what trades you took, but why you took them, and crucially, how you felt during the process. Were you anxious when you entered? Did you feel euphoric after that win? Were you tempted to break your rules? This process of self-interrogation brings your unconscious emotional patterns into the light of conscious awareness. Over time, you'll begin to see your own triggers and weaknesses clearly, which is the first step toward managing them effectively. This journal becomes your personal coach, reflecting your internal state back to you. Finally, establishing a non-negotiable pre-trade and post-trade routine is essential. Before you even look at a chart, review your written trading plan, your main goals, and your rules for the day. This primes your mind for discipline. After your trading session is over, no matter the outcome, shut everything down and physically walk away. Engage in an activity that has nothing to do with the market's exercise, spend time with family, or work on a hobby. This creates a clear boundary between your trading life and your personal life, preventing the market's emotional highs and lows from bleeding into your well-being. These simple, consistent drills are what build the invisible, unbreakable skill of emotional resilience. We've journeyed through the dark landscape of the trader's mind, exposing hidden enemies like the illusion of control, the dopamine trap, and the myth of market mastery. It might seem these biases are hardwired, but your mindset is not fixed. It's programmable. Think of your mind as a computer, programmed by experience with default software. Rewiring your mind starts with awareness. You are not your fear or greed, you are the observer, the programmer. This is neuroplasticity, reorganizing your brain by forming new neural connections. You are, quite literally, rewiring your brain. The power lies in knowing that change is possible. Overwrite old patterns with discipline, patience, and objectivity. You are the one who can hold the keyboard. Becoming aware your mind is programmable is the first step. To rewrite the code, you need a practical toolkit. First, a detailed trading journal to document your emotional state for every trade. Second, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT principles. Challenge negative thoughts and replace them with constructive ones. Third, mindfulness and visualization. Rehearse your session mentally, visualizing both success and adversity. Finally, use a trade simulator to practice psychological responses risk-free. These tools rewire your mind for professional trading. The trading world defines success as making money. This fuels ego and fear. Redefine success as commitment to the process, a journey of self-mastery. Aim for a green process, not just a green P&L. Follow your plan, honor risk rules, stay calm, and journal honestly. This shift puts accomplishment in your control, freeing you from market emotions. Trading becomes a fulfilling craft, a daily practice of discipline and growth. The market is your sparring partner, providing feedback on your process. This sustains you for the long haul. The goal is to keep playing with excellence. Profit is the byproduct of an excellent process. The money follows discipline. Over 90% of traders fail, often due to unseen mental traps. You've seen what holds them back, giving you a choice the 90% never see. It's about mastering yourself, building emotional resilience, and reprogramming mental habits. Your edge isn't on a screen, but in the space between event and response. The real game is inside your head. Discipline, patience, and self-control. On your next trade, focus on your mind. Stop, breathe, and ask, what did I just feel? This awareness is your first trade in a new reality. Master yourself.